Hi everybody, this is Shauna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy. Today we're talking about closed syllables. How do they work? It makes sense to start with the closed syllable because although there are 7 different syllable types in English, close to 50% of the syllables in English words are closed syllables. Let's get into it. First off, let's deal with the definition of a syllable. What is a syllable? Well, I like to use the definition that I learned from the Dyslexia Training Institute, which says that a syllable is a word or part of a word with one vowel pattern. We want to teach this in a multisensory way to students, so let's use some hand gestures. We'll say a syllable is a word, and this means, from here to here, that's the whole word, or part of a word. But no matter what, it has one vowel pattern. We say one vowel pattern, that word pattern, because some words have a single vowel, such as sat, S-A-T, but some words have 2 vowels that are making one sound together. And think of the word seat, S-E-A-T, the E-A works together. So in that case, it's still one vowel sound, but it takes 2 letters to work together to make that sound. So let's do it together, ready? A syllable is a word or part of a word with one vowel pattern. Here is a video clip of a student doing the hand gestures. Hey Sebastian, I was wondering if you could do a syllable definition and the gestures. What do we say for what is the syllable?
A word or a part of a word with the one vowel pattern.
Good job, bud. Let's do a quick overview of the 7 syllable types. We'll start off with the closed syllable. And for a word as an example, we'll use the word got. Got has one vowel, and at the end of the word, there's one consonant. So we think that that vowel is being closed in by the consonant T. That's what makes it a closed syllable. When we have a closed syllable, the vowel is short. So the O is saying ah, it's short sound. So quick review there, one vowel in the syllable, and the syllable is always closed in by 1 or more consonants, and the vowel will be short. The next syllable type is called the open syllable, and this is a word like go. The O is at the end of the word, at end of the syllable, and that vowel will be long. So this is a syllable type where there is one vowel only, and the vowel is open. It's just there's nothing closing, no consonant closing it in at the end. The next syllable type is called vowel consonant silent E. Think of a word like grove, and this is where we have that silent E at the end of the word, and the first vowel will be saying its long sound. Then we have vowel teams, which is the common name. It's also called vowel digraphs, and that's where we have 2 vowels side by side in a word, and the first one's saying the long vowel sound, and the second one's just sitting there silently. Like in the word groan, you hear the long O sound, but the A is just sitting there silent. The next type is called vowel diphthongs. And this is where you have 2 vowels side by side in a word, but they're making a brand new sound. So think of the word grout. The O and the U are there side by side, but they're not making a short O sound or U sound. They're not making a long O sound or U sound. They're making something totally different. Ow, right? Then we have the R-controlled syllable type. It's very difficult to make the R sound. A lot of different things have to happen in the mouth. So if we try and make a vowel sound and then an R sound, it's almost impossible to do it. So we created another syllable type to work around this problem. So we have the E-R-I-R-A-R-U-R-O-R in the syllable type. And think of a word like germ. So E-R is saying the sound that an R would make by itself. And then there's a consonant LE syllable type. That's the last syllable type. And so consonant, like think of G and then LE, G-L-E. Well, that's not a word on its own. So this is the only syllable type where you have to have a second syllable, a syllable that comes before it to make a word. So I could add ang at the front, and then I'd have go, and it would turn into angle or tangle. So those are the 7 syllable types. Teaching a new concept usually begins the same way for me every time. I'll start off by giving the student a rule card. So in this case, it'll be the what is a syllable, like the syllable definition rule card with the hand gestures on it. And then we will practice doing the hand gestures and saying the syllable definition. And then we want to take it from the abstract to make it real for the student. And I like to use word sorts to do this. On index cards, I will write different combinations of letters. Some of them will be syllables and some of them will be not syllables. And then I'll have two header cards, a yes and a no. And the student's job is to look at each index card and put them under the correct header. Yes if it is a syllable, and no if it's not. This is really powerful because they can instantly tell that a syllable is only a syllable if it has a vowel. If there's no vowel, it's not a syllable. Because think of the word sat there. That's a word. Okay, it must be a syllable. Daz is part of the word dazzle, so that's part of a word. But then HKR, there's no vowel pattern there, right? So that means that can't be a syllable. How about NML? No vowel pattern, it can't be a syllable. Here's a little video clip to show you how I would do this with the student. Hey Sebastian, so today we're going to talk about what is a syllable. What do you remember about the syllable definition? What's a syllable?
A syllable is a word or part of a word with a one vowel pattern.
Oh, well that's great. Every syllable has to have one thing. Do you remember what that one thing is that every syllable must have?
A vowel.
Oh, very good. So if it doesn't have a vowel, can it be a syllable? Very good. So every word in the English language must have at least one vowel. So today we're going to do a sort to figure out what's a syllable and what's not. You're going to have a yes pile and a no pile. And I'll give you some cards. Is that one a syllable? If it is, you can put it under the yes pile. If it's not a syllable, you can put it under the no pile.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Well, why did you put that one under the yes pile?
It has a vowel.
Perfect. It sure does, and that makes it a syllable. Does it have to be a word?
No.
You're right. How about that one?
No vowel.
Good job. How about that one? And that one. Oh, you're doing this very quickly. How about that one? And how do you know that one's not a syllable?
No vowel.
Good job,
It
bud.
also has like sometimes people say but it's still not. It's not one.
Yeah, you just learned something. Sometimes in comic books I see that. How about that one? Okay. And how about that one? Oh, let's look at that one.
Fantastic.
How about this one? Is that one a syllable or not a syllable? And how did you know to put it into the no pile?
Because no vowel.
Yeah. Now, Sebastian is a very good reader, and he has instantly noticed a pattern here, and he's put 3 syllable cards together. Many students in the beginning stages would never do that. So if they're not at a reading stage, this drill does not require any readings. But if they are, like Sebastian is, then you can let them sort. And at the end, they could put the 2 syllables together and they could read the word. What's the word, Sebastian?
Unfit and fantastic.
Excellent. How many syllables are in fantastic? Excellent job. One thing that I should mention is when I'm teaching and a student gets an answer incorrect, I don't like to say no. Instead, I like to ask them a probing question so that they can get to the right answer. I always think they hear no enough in their life. So it's better, if someone, I think you noticed in the video, one was placed incorrectly, and then when the student placed it to the correct column, I said, well, how did you know to move it? And that gave them a chance to talk about why that answer was now correct. Once you feel like the student has mastered that idea of what is a syllable, then we can move on to the different syllable types, starting with the closed syllable. And we'll begin in the exact same way. We'll give out a rule card, and then we will work with it in a multisensory way. And then we'll do drills to reinforce the concept. Here's what the rule card might look like. We will teach the student that there is one vowel, and the vowel is closed in by one or more consonants. And when we have that situation, the vowel is short. I like to hang the idea of the different definitions of the syllables on stories. So there's a different story that goes with each syllable type. Here's a little video to show you the story that I use to teach the closed syllable concept. When I teach kids about the closed syllable definition, I like to use a story. Let's use the word got as an example. In this word, we have O followed by T. So it meets the definition of a closed syllable because there's one vowel followed by one or more consonants, and in that case, the vowel is short. We say that O's family had to go out, so they hired a babysitter. T. When T is there being the babysitter, O is nice and calm and says O's short sound. Aw. But what happens if the babysitter goes away? Maybe the babysitter gets a cell phone call and goes off to take it. And in that moment, O starts to wander away. O is getting lost and O is afraid. O starts screaming its name so that its mommy can find it. O is over here. O is over here. G-O. Go. If we had the word hit, we could have the student think of, let's tap out the word hit. It. Where's the vowel? Okay, it's in the middle. It. How many vowels are there? Oh, there's only one. Okay. Is the vowel closed in? It is. It's closed in by the consonant T. That means that this must be a closed syllable. That means the vowel is going to be short. And then we test it. I. The vowel is short. But what happens if we take away the T? You know, the T says, hey, sorry, I can't babysit you anymore. So the I stops being happy. It stops making a soft, happy, short sound, and it starts screaming its long sound. It starts wandering away and it gets lost. It says, Mommy, Mommy, I am over here all by myself. Come get me, I. And so the word is hi. Now we're telling the student that in closed syllables, the vowels have the short sounds, but we can't make the assumption that the student actually knows what the symbol sound relationship is between all the vowels. We have to teach them those short vowel sounds. And a wonderful way to do this is to use the short vowel drill. Here is a video clip that shows you how to do that. Hey, Sebastian, let's do the short vowel drill. Can you take 2 fingers and we're going to trace the outline of the apple saying the short vowel sound ah. Nice. Do it again. 3 times more. Nice. Good. Let's go to the next one. Eddie. We usually start from the middle. Good. 4 more times. Good.
Wait, which way do you go?
We usually go bottom to the top. Okay. Good question. And then at the when you say "I," can you underline it on the bottom? And then right across the page. I. Perfect. Nice. Olive.
So you start here.
We usually start at the top and we go olive, ah.
Okay. Olive, ah. Olive, ah. Olive, ah.
2 more times.
Olive, ah. Olive, ah.
And our last sound. And you used to have a really cool pick. We usually go from the bottom up. We go up.
Yeah,
Then,
makes sense.
and how you do the arrowhead is kind of personal, up to you. And then we take our 2 fingers. Yeah, perfect. Great job, Sebastian.
Next.
And then to review the drill, we can do another card sort. We can have our index cards. And on some of those index cards, we will put closed syllables. And on others, we can put other syllable types. And then we'll have our yes-no heading, just like we did before. And then we'll have our student sort the cards under yes if it is a closed syllable, and no if it is either not a syllable or if it's some other syllable type. Here's a video of a student actually doing this drill so that you can see how it works. So Sebastian, I'm wondering, does it matter how many consonants are on this side?
No.
How come?
Because we read left to right.
Oh, good job. And so?
The M is the one that's the closer inner.
Yeah, good job. So now, look at Tucker. Now we're going to do a sort to prove our closed syllable rule. But first, let's look at our rule card. So our rule card tells us that a closed syllable has only one vowel. Does this one have only one vowel?
Yes.
It could be followed by one or more consonants. Is that the case here?
Yeah.
And the last one is the vowel sound is short. So is this one a closed syllable?
Yeah.
By every part of the definition, it's a closed syllable. So now, I've got two cards here. One is a yes card, and one is a no card. And I would like you to tell me, in a sort, is this one a closed syllable?
No.
Can you put it in the no pile then? And how did you know that one was not a closed syllable?
Because there's a vowel at the end.
Ah, so what's missing from the end? You got it. How about that one? Is that one a closed syllable?
Don't know.
No, for the same reason, isn't it? How about this one? THZ. Is that one a closed syllable?
It doesn't even have a vowel.
Ah, so it doesn't have a vowel. So does it match our definition? A closed syllable has... Yeah, so it can't be a vowel. Very good.
I still think it's not ready.
Yeah, you're like, throw it out of the drill.
Yeah.
How about that one? That is a closed syllable. Okay, how about this one?
It's good word. It's
Okay, and how did you know that that one was a closed syllable?
because it has babysitter comes in the eye.
Good job forcing that I to say its short sound. And how about that one?
Good word is
Okay. Another way that we can help to train that student's brain to hear the vowel sounds properly, the short vowel sounds, is to give them a keyword sentence that uses all those different short vowel sounds. The one I often use is one that I learned from the Dyslexia Training Institute. Fat Ed is not up. So we would give them a piece of paper with the picture and the sentence on it. And remember that this is not a reading activity per se, it's more of a hearing activity when we want them hearing those sounds correctly. So, they'll memorize that sentence in a second, and we want them to say it by stretching out the vowel sounds so it'll sound like this. Fat Ed is not up. So it's that vowel sound that's getting stretched out. And they can do this what's their tolerance for it, right? It could be 3 to 5 times. I have to admit that I'm not a big fan of the fat Ed is not up sentence. I think it's a bit mean to call Ed fat. So if you can think of a better sentence, keyword sentence that uses all closed syllables and all of the short vowel sounds, then I would love to hear it. Put it in the comments below. The video's almost over and you might be thinking to yourself, hey Shauna, you forgot Y. Well, yes, Y is a vowel, and Y can make 4 sounds. It can make a consonant sound, and then it's got 3 vowel sounds it can make. When it's being a consonant, it'll say Y, as in yes. When it's a vowel, it could say I, or E. But this video is about closed syllables, and in closed syllables, the Y will always appear at the front of the word, and in that, when it's at the front, it's saying Y, so it's being a consonant. I made a song to help kids remember the way that Y works. Here it is. A-E-I-O-U are vowels that I know you've heard, but Y is only a vowel when it's
start of a word.